Greetings, Patrick here. 8 Questions with, and we are here on a very cold, cold, cold night in Michigan. Let me get myself situated here. So yeah, we are ready to rock and roll. And yeah, there I am. I was wondering, hey, it's a delay. Yeah, it's been really sort of delayish all day today on the internet. It's been like, I mean, even off of YouTube, it's been really lagging. I think it has to do with the fact that it has to do with the fact that uh it's so cold outside. Well, we're here to talk to. I put down here deathmatch wrestling legend. I personally think he's a legend myself, but he's he's sort of like iffy on the title, so I wanted to go with Hall of Famer because he definitely is a Hall of Famer deathmatch wrestler and Madman Pondo. I watched some of his matches and listened to some of the interviews, and yeah, he really is a sharp cat, that's for sure. He's very well spoken. He's also a writer. He's written one book. His first are memoirs, um, memoirs of a madman, and now he's getting ready to release a second book. And I do believe in the first part of 2026. Now, Pondo has been wrestling now for I think over 30 years, and I'm watching his some of his matches. Okay, first of all, I'm going to be honest with you. Like I said before, I said this yesterday. I watched some of his matches. I fucking marked out. Okay, call me a mark. I don't give a shit. I did. I marked out. Deathmatch wrestling it's a different sort of animal. Um, and I almost love the fans as much as I did watching the wrestling. The fans are crazy passionate about deathmatch wrestling. They get into it so hard. And hey, Larry, thank you, sir. You as well. Yeah, I am watching it. I watched a couple of his matches. Watched one, a legendary one. This has to be a legendary one. The one he did, Pondo wrestled against Sandman. Now, Sandman, I do believe, was once a ECW wrestler, right? And anyway, he came down and took on Pondo on his own terms. And let me tell you, that was freaking amazing, amazing match. And what we're going to talk about a little bit because I'm watching that. I said I have questions about this, and I'm sure he's going like, but dude, that's like 25 years ago. But I've never seen it. I just gotta ask you some questions. Um, yeah, Sandman is a ECW original. Yeah. Hey, Tony. Um, So we're also going to be talking a little bit about his acting career. He's actually done a couple of horror movies. Him and I also, I found out that him and I also share a strong bond. We both, there's a horror movie out there that we both feel very passionately about. Um, uh, we will get Pondo for about an hour. Um, I think, believe him, he and I think it's date night. That's what I think it is. I think it's going to be date night because he mentioned he's going to go see the new Chris Pratt movie, Mercy. Uh, he told me that. I said, hey, wait a minute, isn't that movie directed by Ari Aster? I was just trying to help him out, right? We'll see how that go. We'll see how well that goes over when Pondo gets here. But like I said before, he's a very soft spoken. He's very soft spoken. Um, he's not anything what you think. If you see most of the wrestlers, they're always like hanging with the boys and have tons of war stories. Uh, but one gets a really distinct feel that wrestling is an important part of Pondo's life. It's not the sum of it. He has other interests, other things that he likes. including a passionate for horror films. Also, I can tell you right now, he's also probably most likely very passionate about reading and writing. So that there's a lot more to the man than just the wrestling. So that's what we'll be trying to bring out tonight with these 8 questions. This is my first deathmatch wrestler, so when he gets here, that's the first thing I'm going to tell him. It's like, although a lot of my questions are going to be a rather like, they're going to be some of those. Um, but I will do my best, and you guys can really help me out here. Is let's ask him some questions. If he has some questions you ever wanted to ask, not only Madman Pondo, but wrestling in general, tonight's tonight. It's free. It's free. You can come on in here. You can check out the interview. You can ask some questions, um, and yeah, and you can do it for free. I mean, you can't beat that, right? So share us out, those who want to. I know I'm going to be competing against the Cat Dad tonight. He opened up the Cat House tonight, so it's going to be a rough night. Uh, uh, but I love Larry, and I know he's interviewing Jim from Jim's Movie Channel. That's going to be a kick-ass interview. But of course, you can watch that one on the replay. Catch this one here live. That's right. Uh, but if you do go over to the Cat House at 8 o'clock, tell them the cheetah sent you. That's right. And to the Cat House. I know it's conversations with. I was like conversations with Larry in the Cat House. I'm always. I think if I keep saying that word, it will bring back Larry and Don Zombie back together as a united force. But it's gonna be a good show over there too. So if blood and guts is not your thing tonight, I understand that because we'll be talking a lot about that. Then we understand. But I hope you stay. I really do. I think Pondo will be unlike anybody you've ever heard before here on the show. And it is my second interview. I have to give a shout out as proper. I'd like to thank Eric from Hey Internet. It's Eric. I got both my interviews from him, James Fury and Madman Pondo. I wouldn't have been able to get these without him. So, as always, thank you so much for this. I am absolutely tickled to death to be able to sit here and talk to a Hall of Famer like Madman Pondo. Didn't say legend because he doesn't really like that too much. But to us, he's a legend, um, and a Hall of Famer. So and a multi-champion. He's won several belts in several different organizations, and I got to tell you right now, that is not as easy as you think. There's a lot of politics that go into it. There's a lot of creativity that goes into handling a wrestling organization. There's a lot of independence out there, and everybody wants to be champ. Everybody wants to be a champion. Yes. Is it even when you're gonna win. Like I remember seeing when Eddie Guerrero won. He won his first title. Rey Mysterio, Chris Benoit, um, when they won their first titles, they weren't expected to win because they were smaller. But even though they were, but here they are. They're going to go ahead and say, "Yeah, man, we're going to put the belt around you tonight." Even though that's happening, it still means a lot, a tremendous achievement. All the blood, sweat, and tears, all the road trips, all the trips to the ER, lifting weights by yourself at 5 in the morning, driving across country. But when the organization guy comes over and says, "Yeah, we want to put the strap on you because we think that highly of you," it's an honor. It truly is an honor. It's not to be taken lightly because there's a lot of really fine wrestlers out there that never got a chance. They never got a chance to put a belt around. They were great workers, but when it came down to putting it on the belt and driving ticket sales, maybe they just weren't fortunate enough. So when I say that Pondo has won multiple championships, that should tell you exactly how his skill is like. All right. Okay. Yep. All right. Pondo will be here momentarily. Fact. Let me make sure. Yeah, man. We have some really wacky issues with our StreamYard this week. So we're hoping that won't happen to us. Oh, yep, there he is. There he is. So thank you guys for coming in. Please help me welcome in Hall of Famer Madman Pondo. Here we go.
How's it going?
Good, good. It's a real honor to have you.
You'll figure it out. I'm no honor. I'm just Pondo.
I saw that. I saw where someone had mentioned to you, they had called you a legend, and you poo-pawed that off, saying I'm not really a legend. And I watched some of your
Yeah.
matches after hearing that, and I got to tell you, for your fans, you might say I ain't no legend, but I think your fans would be the first and very fervently be telling you otherwise. They love you. They really
Uh,
love you. I watched
I
several
think
matches and yeah.
I think that word legend is for guys like Terry Funk and Ric Flair and stuff like that. I'm just a guy who's been around. I mean, there's A-listers, B-listers. I'm down there in the E's and the F's somewhere. I mean, I'm known, but I'm not world renowned, famously known. So I'm the worst about taking compliments. I don't know if you figured that out yet or not.
Well, I will definitely say that out of respect for you, how you felt about it. Uh, Even though I put that down in the description, I will have to say that you are definitely at least a Hall of Famer, and nothing's going to change that opinion.
Well,
You're
thank
also
you.
a multi-champion, and I was explaining how that is not easy. Hell, it's not. It's hard just being champion in one organization, but everywhere that you have gone and wrestled, you have walked off with a strap.
I mean,
Not easy to
when
do.
when you've been wrestling for 36 years, after a while, you get lucky. You get lucky at these companies.
Pondo. I like to think that it's a little bit more than that. For one thing, I definitely think it's your work ethic. You show up ready to go at it. You could draw. You know, um, I watched, and you're extremely professional. Holy shit! I was watching you wrestle in a little room with maybe about 60 people in there. It could have been Madison
Yeah.
Square Garden with the crowd and the way you and your partner wrestled. I mean, it's like when you come out of the position of the gorilla position, does the crowd disappear for you? I mean, is it when you come out and you don't even notice the size of the room. All you notice is your opponent in the ring and giving them everything they want.
So I'm always out for that return visit. I want fans to tell promoters they want to see me again. I want promoters to tell me they want to see me again. So if you go out there and judge the room by the size of the crowd, you don't come back. So I am always out for that return visit. Plus, it's a big high to me to hear the crowd chant my name or come over and buy my merchandise afterwards. I mean, uh, you're right. I take the professionalism. There's a reason I've been doing this for 36 years. Uh, I want people to realize that I'm not only there for myself, I'm there because I run companies myself. I ran IW East Coast, I run Girl Fight. I wanted, I want the same respect uh, given as I'm willing to give. Therefore, I give just as much respect as I can when a promoter takes the time to book me and put me on his show.
Now, your type of wrestling is called deathmatch, and I'm a rookie. Okay, I grew up watching WWF, WWE. So I'm that's mainstream wrestling. So I was a complete 100% rookie until Eric turned me on to this, and then I watched it, and then I'm just like looking at. I'm telling Eric, we're like, these guys are fucking crazy. I
We
mean, they're
are.
they're nuts. You guys are crazy. I was there for your first interview with him, and I'm sitting here with my mouth is open and going like, I didn't even know anything like this existed. I thought the most hardcore would be ECW, and they throw some thumbtacks on the floor and maybe a baseball bat, with a little bit of wire on it. But I'm sitting there watching a death match, and I'm going death match, and I'm going like, yeah, like that's absolutely insane. Um, the injuries that you accrued over your long career. I don't know how you guys do this. I mean, I don't know. I'm not. I mean, would you say that? I mean, when you first started out with you probably started out as a traditional wrestler, right?
So did. Yep.
So, and then you went to hardcore, and then you
Yep.
went and because I read what you said. You said you're like, you're sort of on a small size. You were built at 220 when you started out.
Yep.
Um, and you were just you just wanted to get noticed. You just wanted to make a mark. So when someone
Right.
asked you to do a death match for the first time, and I read how you said, okay, yeah, I'm down for that. um had you ever seen a death match at that time? I mean, did you realize that what they were putting in the ring could seriously and probably have seriously injured you and for real? I mean, not just Kindle sticks, but like cinder blocks and
Well,
sledgehammers. And
not
my
only,
favorite,
go ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. Your
And
favorite.
my favorite thing I'm sitting there marking out at is the fluorescent lights.
Okay. Well, um, not only did I notice, but I'm the one saying in the beginning, hey, let's put this in the match. Let's do this. I come up with more ways to mutilate my body for the entertainment of others than anybody else. But the way that I learned about this, the way that I wanted to start doing this was tape trading. Please tell me you know what tape trading is.
That's when you take your matches and trade them off with other wrestlers.
Well, there's more to it than that. Back before I was even wrestling, Wrestling Review magazine and the dirt sheets, they would give addresses for people who wanted to trade videotapes. And we're talking about other countries. We're talking about all over the United States. Well, my family had one of the, I'm from a small town, Florida, Illinois, population 5,000. And my family had one of the great big satellites that you had to line up with the signal and it's bigger than a Volkswagen. So I
Right.
had I had access to all types of professional wrestling. So I would record it all. And I started trading tapes with mail order or meeting people and I got a hold of some Puerto Rican and Japanese deathmatch videotapes, and I just fell in love. I was like, holy shit, this is what I want to do. So ever since that day, I pursued death matches. I found death matches, and at 56 years old, I'm still doing death matches.
Now, obviously, things have changed. How have things changed from when you started to today? Is it still Gonzo, or is it just a little bit more regulated? out of safety for the performers, or
So so in the beginning, it was very hard because you had your WWE and you had your WCW and you had your USWA. You had so many fans of professional wrestling that deathmatch wrestling was so disrespected, so hated. And I just kept going with it though. Like, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a deathmatch wrestler. So now, if you, I mean, they made a whole pay per view around a death match. Yes, the finish of it fluttered out with that exploding barbed wire, but still, Chris Jericho even told me that was the best buy rate that AEW had. You had Cactus Jack landing in thumbtacks on national TV, or maybe it was just a pay per view. But before there was, I mean, death matches wasn't even a word. It was just bloody matches back then. But now there are so many deathmatch wrestlers that I mean, it's hard to get booked anymore because number one, there's so many of them, and number two, there are so many great deathmatch wrestlers that yeah, it's way different than what it used to be when I started.
but people still love you. I mean, they love what you bring to the party. I mean, that's I think that's one of the reasons that older wrestlers still can, even though they're pushing 60 or 70. I think isn't Ric Flair still looking for his last match? And
I
he's like,
believe so.
yeah. Um, I mean,
And more
there's
power
still.
to him. More power to him. And Dory Funk at 83 years old just did a death match in Japan, exploding barbed wire. More power to them. But now that Dory Funk did that at 83, I'm going to do that at 84.
Oh my gosh, that's just absolutely crazy. Um, so what are, I just want to know some of the, because like I said, I am totally brand new here. I know some of my questions might be redundant to you from other. I'm going to try to keep them fresh and interesting for you, for sure. Um, because I'm just curious. Like I said, I have so many questions. Um, so walk me through. I mean, the first time, I mean, when you see something like that, like I remember, like, going out for football. I wanted to play football, so I wanted to go out for it. Now that's a whole lot different than wanting to get out there and then getting out there and seeing what it's like for the first time. I mean, like they said, everybody's like Mike Tyson said, in the ring, everybody has a game plan until the first time you get hit. So here you are, you're young, you're a firebrand, you're ready to go. What was your first death match, and what were the weapons that were featured? Were you allowed as a rookie? Were you allowed to bring your own instruments? Because today you bring a stop sign, a cinder block. Not kidding, not kidding you. Cinder block. You bring a sledgehammer. These are your calling
A
cards.
baseball bat with a saw
Part of.
blade on it.
Hmm?
A baseball bat with a saw blade on it. You forgot that one?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. That
Yeah.
you know what? When I saw that, I'm going like, I don't know how he's going to use that safely. All I know when I saw that was what came through me was extreme trust. Another human is trusting you and your talent and your skill to allow them to really to hit them. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not just, hey, let's go out there. It's like you gotta, if I don't know somebody, if I'm walking in there and I don't know somebody, or they come in there with a reputation as being a little bit, too aggressive, or it's not really making me confident enough to go inside the ring and go and do a match with that person. But the respect and again your professionalism when you walk in there with your tools of the trade, your opponent is sitting there going like, yeah, I trust him to do that. He's not going to hurt me. I mean, he may bang me up a little bit, but he's not going to hurt me. I'm not going to end up fighting for my life in some ER room because this guy's, because he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Um, so what was it like for the first time to basically, let's just be honest, to put your life in another person's hands and in a sport, right? that some people say, like David Schultz was, took that news reporter and says, does that feel like it's fake? That's an
Right.
open hand slap. Here you are with Deathmatch. Ain't nothing fake about that at all. So tell me about the
So
first time that you went in there.
so the first time, Ian and Axel were doing death matches at ECW. They was doing tire pay death, barbed wire bat, barbed wire ropes, the whole 9 yards. Then Ian was no longer at ECW, and I went and found him. And there was a promoter named Kamala Jr. who did a show, and he booked Ian to wrestle me. And I was talking to Ian, and I was like, "Hey, let's do barbed wire bat." And Ian was like, "All right, no problem." Ian showed up. He did not bring a barbed wire bat. He brought a leather strap. And he said, "Kid, I really don't know you. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want you to hurt me. So let's do this leather strap to begin with." So every every time he would smack me with that leather strap, I was bleeding here. I was bleeding here. He got me on my neck. I was bleeding there. I was bleeding on my chest. I was bleeding everywhere. So he said, "Okay, you showed me. So next time, let's do barbed wire bat." So then a company in Indianapolis booked us, and I did. I did barbed wire bat. I took a power bomb on that barbed wire bat. I mean, and then he was like, "Okay, well, let's take this on the road. Let's go all over the United States." And that's what we did. And to answer your other question, I have showed up at shows, and the guys have known that they're going to wrestle me. They've known that they've seen what they've watched on videotapes, and of course, word of mouth of what they're about to expect. And of course, that's always exaggerated. But I have to calm guys down and say, "Look, this is going to be easy. Don't worry about it." And after I get done wrestling, they always say the same thing, like, "Oh my God, that was so easy." And I was like, "Yeah, what did you think I was going to do?" And they're like, "Well, I saw your videos. I thought you was going to kill me." And I'm like, "That's not what wrestling is. Wrestling is a work." So that's what I'm doing, And like I told you, I'm out for that return visit. So treat them good. They treat me good. And that's what I live by.
Now, I'm not sure this is like stuff you could talk about, but like I said, I'm new, so I'm asking the questions for
Yep.
asking the questions. I'm just that curious. So when you do wrestle a match like that, what do you do to sort of numb yourself? Do you put lidocaine on your body to help, helps, basically help take the sting out of the shots? I mean, you put that up there and numbs you up. I mean, you're still getting popped and you're still going to bleed, but you're not going to feel it as much, one with hope. Or is it just straight 100%? When he hits you, he's hitting your skin. I mean, you're getting popped.
100% hit my skin. I've never even heard of what you're talking about. I wish I knew that 20 years ago that there was some potion I could put on me and not feel hits. But no, all my hits are real
Okay,
that
I
I've
got it.
given on taken.
I got a question in that you hadn't got to even heard about, so I feel pretty damn good about that.
There
Okay,
you go.
so then we're going to talk a little bit more about. I want to talk a little bit more about your writing because I'm really curious about that too. But I just got to talk to that. I got to talk. You got to talk to me a little bit about the match you did in 2001. I know, like I said, I'm new, but I watched you
Mhm.
wrestle Sandman. First time I've ever seen this, and Eric would tell you this. Eric would tell you, like, when I heard about the fluorescent, when I watched the fluorescent lights, I was just like, I was like amazed that someone would let themselves be hit with a fluorescent light because it's like being hit with shards of needles. I mean, that shit is everywhere. Your match with Sandman, I'm not sure how this worked. So I mean, I don't know if you feel comfortable talking to me about it in case there's something that you did to protect yourself. We couldn't see it. But in that match, it was an I quit match, and you guys put up like 30 fluorescent lights on these chairs, and then
Yeah,
he power slammed you through it.
yeah.
That was bad
Well,
enough.
there
I
is.
was sitting there going, I was there, I was almost over here. I was yelling. I was going like, "Oh shit!" And the
Well,
crowd was sitting there going like, "Holy shit!" I'm sitting over here going like that too because I didn't pick up the crowd saying it for a second because I was so loud. And then he put your face in like shards of glass to make you quit. My question to you was, how did you protect your face from that move? I don't know if you feel comfortable telling me about that or not, but I was genuinely concerned because it's like that shit gets into your skin and you could have problems. I mean, real life problems. Um,
well, I will say that Sandman, I was his first light tubes, but he told me when I was out there, grab something and hit him with it. Well, I grabbed light tubes. And then afterwards he was like, I didn't mean fucking light tubes, but uh, as far as saving myself, for 36 years I've been doing this, so pretty much I know my limitations on what I want to take and what I don't want to take. So yeah, I mean, I know how to protect myself. Let's just put it that way.
okay. Okay. I can leave it with that. Some of the other shit I saw you do, which I have to sort of laugh. I sort of laughed at it, but because it was just like it was one of those things where you laugh out of nervousness, and you've had matches where you stapled each other, and one
Yes.
match you stapled one guy you stapled real close to his family jewels, and his face was one of terror. he, you can see it on his face, like that's really high. That's really high up on the leg there. um, so do you guys walk that? How do you walk a program like that? In the back room where you're sitting there going like, okay, so here's what I'm going to hit you with. I'm going to hit you with a pool stick, and then some tube lighting, and then a cinder block and a sledgehammer, and we can staple each other, bar bat. I mean, do you guys walk back there face to face and say, okay, these are the weapons we're going to take out and party with? I mean, that is because you got. I mean, we always hear about regular wrestling walking through a big match, like working on what they're going to do and the moves they're going to do. But with death matches, it's like to me, it's like you have to do that to the extreme, like because, like I said before, I mean, any match is potentially a bad match. I mean, we'll be honest here. I mean, someone could get hit with a tube light and slice themselves up. I mean, like on their neck. I mean, something could happen. Um, accidents do happen in the rings, as we know.
Accidents have happened in the ring, but so here's the thing about death matches. There is no school for those. There is no practicing those. You either have the menu or you don't have the menu, and I've had them in me. So yeah, man, like I just get out there and I do my thing, and as long as the other guy works with me, he does his thing, and finish happens. Everybody's happy.
Right. Um, I guess let's see. I have to go to the chat here. I'm in Target fixated, but let me go to the chat here real quick.
All right.
Eric is here, of course, saying hello, hello. Um, see, Tom's saying he knows. I believe me, Tom. I knew nothing about this either until a couple of months ago, but I'm fascinated now. See, Eric's mentioning the Four Sides of Pain match versus Ian. If you
Yeah.
want to know about injuries, ask him about the pencil incident and the graphite. You got stuck with a pencil?
So I landed on a bed of number two pencils. It's like a bed of nails, but it was made out of sharpened number two pencils, and it got inside my bloodstream. This is one of the things that put me down for 6 days. It got in my bloodstream and just terrorized my body for 6 days. But yeah, that was one of the stupid ones right there.
Nah, I'm sure now that's outlawed. People don't do that. So you sort of like, was that the first time he had ever done a pencil match? First and
Yes,
only
and
time?
it
Yeah.
was the first time I saw one, so that was the first time that I went through one. But they're not outlawed. But I do pressure every wrestler, don't imitate me, don't land on those pencils, because that was 6 days of horror shit. It was terrible.
Mm. Was that the first? Has that been the worst injury that you've suffered in your career, Pondo?
Well, um, so that one, Matthew Justice jumped off a balcony, knee first, and broke rib 3 and 4, shoving 4 into my lung, not just poking a hole, but ripping a hole, causing it to collapse. Have to have surgery afterwards. That one was pretty bad. I uh, a guy named Pete Madden was doing a moonsault off the guardrail, and his shoe slid down the guardrail. So I caught him in air, and I fell back on the ring post. I had a bolt sticking out of it, and cut my head all the way down almost to the skull. And I super glued it shut because I didn't have money to go to the hospital. Those are probably my 3 worst injuries that I've had.
So how do promoters protect their talent? I mean, to me, it's like, you're sitting here saying you couldn't afford to go to the hospital. Quite honestly, the promoter should have been right there beside you, making sure you got taken care of. Um, Especially or the other wrestler whose life he saved. Um, wow. So how does that work as far because insurance has got to be absolutely crazy. I mean, I don't know if it's possible or impossible for promoters to get insurance, but um, wow, Jesus Christ, that's crazy. Um,
Well, to tell you the truth, it's a you know what you're getting into before you get here situation. It's not on the promoter. There's no such thing as deathmatch insurance. I mean, there is on the crowd, but no on a wrestler. So you know what you're getting yourself into. You either show up or you don't. You accept the booking or you don't. So yeah, I
well, I
accept the
think I
booking.
would think I would think that that you've paid you definitely paid your fucking dues. That's for sure. So
Right.
being a star in the death match, are you able to pretty much call your shot as far as people wanting to see you in action? Are you able to control your market? You don't have to get into details about what it is, but it's no longer a Subway sandwich and a bag of chips if they want to see Madman Pondo. I'm sure you get more respect than that. Um, is it does it has being a standard of the industry, has that helped you? I mean, are you able to, make a living off this now because you put in all that blood, sweat, and tears into it?
I was until 2026. I was 332 pounds. I'm down to 196 pounds. I don't know if that's the reason. I don't know if I've just pissed off the wrong people, if that's the reason. But since 2026 hit, I haven't been getting the bookings that I used to. So it's really hurt me. Uh, First time in probably 10 years, I'm going to have to get a real job. But yeah, it's affected me. I don't know what to blame, but I still show up. I still take crazy bumps. I still work hard for promoters. Fans chant my name going to the ring. They chant my name
Yep.
leaving the ring. So I don't know what it is, but yeah, 2026 has been a rough year for me so far.
Now I'm gonna slide over here because I don't want to. This is not going to be all about death matches. I got to slide over here because I told folks before he came on that you're very much a man of words. You wrote your memoirs of a madman.
Yep.
That's currently out now. Now you got a brand new book coming out. So talk to us a little bit about your love of writing. Where did that come from? I mean, are you a big reader as well?
I have read Of Mice and Men in school because they made me. I read The Great Gatsby in school because they made me. I read my book because I had to proofread it, not because they made me, but I wanted to proofread my book. So that's 3 books in my whole life. Terry Funk wrote about me. I went to that section and read that. Mick Foley wrote about me. I went to that section and read that. Uh, Violent J wrote about me. I went to that section, but to sit down and read a whole book, if it wasn't school telling me I had to do it. I really don't read books. So a guy named John Cosper wrote a book called Bluegrass Brawlers, and he asked me for a quote, and I put a quote in there. And so many people told him, "Hey, if you got Pondo in your book, you need to write a book about him because he has hellacious stories." So the publisher John Cosper, he asked me, I don't know, 5 or 6 times, and I just didn't think anybody wanted to hear what I had to say. So I kept saying no, no, no. And finally, he's such a nice guy, and I didn't want to disappoint him. I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's write a book. So I would tell my stories into a tape recorder, and then he would write the stories. So that's how Memoirs of a Madman even got wrote in the first place. So I put embarrassing stories in there. I put great stories in there. I put life achievement stories in there. I like to fuck with scammers. I put one of those conversations in there. I think if they waste your time, it's okay to waste theirs.
Yes.
We've got a comic book with the bloody midgets. I put those pages in there. Um, Pretty much, I put my whole life in 243 pages with stories, other people telling stories about me, many, many pictures of things that I've done in my life. I'm really proud of it. But that was the first book called Memoirs of a Madman. And if you want to purchase that book, you can go to Amazon.com or you can go to visitdeadpark.com. And that's John Cosper's webpage. You can ask about an autographed copy.
Nice.
Then I was in Japan for 9 months and I had all this downtime. And a friend of mine, Christina Harvey, she got her Facebook hacked. She had pictures of her deceased husband on there. She had family memories, many, many wrestling memories, all types of stuff. And she had to start her Facebook all the way over. And I got to thinking to myself how terrible that would be if that happened to me with I don't know if you've been through my Facebook, but I have all types of pictures, all types of memories. So I got to thinking while I was in Japan, I was like, well, shit, I got all this downtime. So I wrote a book. It's named Pondo versus the Horror Icons. And it's how I met all of these horror movie stars from Freddy, Jason, Leatherface, Michael Myers, Art the Clown, The Exorcist, The Candyman, just the Tall Man, all these horror stars. I wrote a book about how I met them, good experiences, bad experiences, and it's loaded with pictures. The whole thing's loaded with pictures. So the book is done. John Cosper has it. My grammar and spelling is not grade A. His
That's what
is.
editors are
So
for. That's what
yeah,
editors are
that's
for.
what he's doing. He's editing and fixing the grammar. Sayazawa from Japan, who wrote who drew the first cover, is now drawing the second cover. So that's gonna rock.
Nice.
So the book is done. It just needs me proofreading it, accepting everything, then John Cosper putting it together, Sayazawa getting the cover done. So it doesn't have a release date, but it does have a release year of 2026. And
Yeah.
again, when that book is available, you'll be able to get that at Amazon.com, or for an autographed copy, you can go to visitdartpark.com. And then if you buy either book one or two and you bring it to the matches and I get my signature crimson mask on, I will take the ink off my forehead, and I will give you the bloody thumbprint on the first page. And the reason I do that is I saw Jurassic Park, and someday when I pass away, you will have my DNA to make your own little Madman Pondo. So there you go.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned horror movies because I have something I got to get off my chest that's been happening to me
Please
this
do.
week. Now, the guys in the chat are going to start laughing their ass off, or at least I hope they are. But I thought, you know what? I got to take my question to the madman because he'll tell us exactly what's up.
I'll do my
So
best.
speaking of horror icons, so here I was Yes, I'm telling the damn story, so you guys can just sit and chill. Besides, you guys are all on my side anyway. So anyway, I'm on this channel, Movies and Beyond, and they're having a battle of horror icons. Like you said, all the icons you mentioned are Jason, Freddy,
Yeah.
the tall man. Now we everybody is in our chat in the chat. We got to pick out a horror icon and throw it on the wheel for them to battle. Well, I picked Bigfoot. Okay, I
Okay.
picked Bigfoot. That's my champion. So they're spinning, and finally it comes up to Bigfoot is going to be battling. So the
Okay.
horror icon that the Bigfoot was going to be boxing against was Dexter Morgan. Now,
Bigfoot would beat the shit out of Dexter Morgan. Bigfoot would beat the shit out of Dexter Morgan.
hell to the yes. There you go. Nobody can deny this. Madman Pondo endorses Bigfoot for the W. Hell yes.
Now
We're trying to get a rematch.
Dexter. I met Michael C. Hall, and you have to realize he is a methodical killer that will take a knife to pedophiles or murderers that get
Mm-hmm.
away. Where Bigfoot, if you back him in a corner, he's going to take that claw and slap the ass off of you, or he's going to take that big foot and stomp the shit out of you. So I would say if Dexter Morgan backed Bigfoot into a corner, Bigfoot's going to beat the shit out of Dexter Morgan.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. There we go. I had to get it out there, boys and girls. And then a little bird told me. Then we're going to talk about some of your acting that you've acted. You've acted with some horror icons yourself. You and I have something very much in common. And I know, and I sort of slipped a hint of that to you when you mentioned you were going to go see Mercy tonight.
Yeah.
And I asked you, I said, hey, didn't Ari Aster direct that? I was sort of like, I was waiting for what the fuck are you asking me that question for? I was waiting for that because I hear you and I are both haters of Hereditary.
I hate Hereditary. So I
Isn't
have
that
three. I have three. First is Lords of Salem by Rob Zombie. I don't know if you saw that or not.
You know what? You know what's funny? I gave a friend of mine who was a big zombie fan, Rob Zombie fan, and I was always giving him shit because I hated House of a Thousand Corpses. I hated that movie so
I
much.
like House of a Thousand Corpses. I like Devil's Rejects, but Lords of
Now,
Salem. I'm watching Lords of Salem, and it had potential starting out, and then all these preachers sitting on this top balcony start jacking these dildos off, and there's this little ugly midget running around. I'm like, what in the hell is this? So
yeah.
that's number three for me. Number two has to be Hereditary. And now that I know more about A24, I don't know if you know this or not, they like to give clues about their movies up until the finish. I don't want that. I want,
Right.
so, Michael Myers, he escapes from a psycho ward, goes to his town, kills people, gets shot off the balcony. That's a movie that you don't have to think about. Why in the hell would A24 think people want to think about their movies? So, but I will say this. Now that I know that A24 puts clues in their movies about the finish, I did enjoy Midsummer because I did see some of the clues, but I hate Hereditary. That's my second one. And my number one that some people just praise this movie. I even made a part two that was 14 seconds long. That's comes to the point quicker than their hour and 43 movie of Skinamarink. I don't know if you saw Skinamarink. What a piece of
Uh-oh.
shit that is.
Uh-oh. I,
I guess you liked
now
it.
that's actually a movie I really did like.
Oh my God! Tell me
I
why.
did.
What was in that movie that you liked so much?
For one thing, I think it's really important is the fact that it's a contained story. There's a beginning, there's a middle, there's an end.
Contained like in a toilet. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So there is that. There is a self-contained story. It's not a happy ending. Definitely not a happy ending. We see what happens at the end of it.
I don't even know
It's
what the fuck happened in the ending.
the
Yeah.
the the
Let me
the,
stop
the
you there.
kids
Let me
the
stop
kids
you there. I'm going to send you my copy of Skidamarink 2, which is 14 seconds long, and you tell me later on, you email me and tell me the difference of their hour and 43-minute movie to my 14 seconds of Skidamarink 2.
Now I will give you that.
I'm
I'll
about
give you
to,
that. I'll give you the movie
I'm about to
they could have
upset
pared
you
off
with
about
this.
20 minutes of it.
Yeah, I'm about to upset you with this movie, so let's just move on. But man, I cannot believe anybody likes that hunk of shit.
Have you ever? Are you a big fan of David Lynch?
I like David Lynch movies.
So what did you think about Eraserhead?
Well, I like David Lynch movies, but I'm not big on art films, and I put Eraserhead in a huge category of being an art film. Uh, I still don't know where the big penis unveiling came from. I don't know what this is, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of art films.
I just I didn't see Skinner Moretti as an art film, not because
It's
it's because the
totally
subject
an
matter
art film.
it's just too dark. The subject matter is just way too dark for an art film.
I
Um,
think dark you mean as the color of diarrhea.
Eric's trying to start up trouble here. Oh no, Tom's trying to start up trouble here by mentioning I like Leprechaun. Oh shit.
I
Oh
love Leprechaun movies. Leprechaun movies are,
not the good, not the U.S. leprechauns. He's talking about the English leprechauns that I had to watch. The Eric made me watch. He made me watch this movie. Okay, so we know that. So Ari Aster is what to you? Like in the middle, or do you like his movies, or what other directors do you like and or dislike? I mean, when like today you're going to go see Mercy. We still got 20 minutes, so I'm still watching the clock. So you're gonna go see Mercy tonight. I mean, what do you look for in a horror movie, Pondo? I mean, what drives it for you? Because I get Hereditary.
um,
Hereditary was just poorly directed, extremely
yeah.
poorly directed. The director Ari Aster had stars in his eyes when he did it. It shows. I think it's a stupid ass movie myself. Um, that's yeah, A24. I know about A24. Everybody here in the chat can tell you how they know about my feelings about A24 for the most part. I mean,
I liked X. Did you like X?
I liked X. I liked X, but I also thought too that I thought too the pacing was off and everything got squid. The hour and a half and everything got settled in 20 minutes, and I didn't really like
Well,
that. I thought the pacing could have been better for that.
I liked X, but I did not like Pearl or Maxine.
Oh,
So
I heard
there's
Maxine was just garbage.
it's total
I heard it
garbage.
was
Total
yeah,
garbage.
yeah.
I
I heard it was
went and saw
garbage.
it in Japan, and you would think going to a movie in Japan that spoke English with Japanese subtitles would be entertaining because everything else is Japanese. No, it was not entertaining. I did not have a good time watching that scene.
Well, that's a really interesting question for me to ask you. Is because I've never, actually, I've never watched. I've never been able to ask this, but what is it like watching an American movie in a foreign country? I
Way
mean,
different.
did you know?
They
Yeah,
do not
how
talk.
so?
They do not talk. Not one peep during the movie. They are not on their phones. It's like their etiquette not to be talking or on their phones. Um, and they wait. The lights don't even come on until after the credits. The people going to see the movies don't even leave the theater until after the credits. And I've seen so many movies in Japan, and it's the same way. It's been that way since I've been to Godzilla movies in Japan, and with children, but the children don't get up and leave until after the credits. It's way different in Japan.
Wow, that's really cool. What's been your favorite country to wrestle in?
Japan,
Japan.
yeah.
What makes Japan wrestling like? What makes it so outstanding? I mean, like over here, especially with the internet, coming into play and whatnot, it sort of has revealed the wizard in the back. Like like kayfabe, is no longer really there because I mean, a wrestler can take a shit in the woods and it'll be on 50,000 wrestling websites. It's there's the mystery is gone for mainstream wrestling. It seems like, um, but Japan. I mean, what is it? What makes Japan so special? Why do a lot of American wrestlers head over there? Well, besides for the money, of course, but what makes them go over there? I mean, do the Japanese take wrestling seriously, or do they realize it's a work and they're just along for the ride? Uh,
So let me give you this description first. You can go to McDonald's, okay? As soon as you enter the door, they're saying "Ushi mushi," which means "Please let me wait on you." You go to the counter, they're smiling while they take your order. They run, they go get it. They smile when they bring it back. They put it on your tray. When you sit down, you unwrap your sandwich. It looks like the picture. So that's
yeah.
Japan already. Um, in Japan, it is a big deal for them to come to America and wrestle. It's like their epitome. But in America, it is the epitome to go to Japan and wrestle because other than America, Japan has been on everybody's, Japan wrestling was in wrestling magazines. There was tape trading more from Japan than there was any other country. So Japan is just like I don't know, the Mecca in America to go to and wrestle.
How many trips overseas have you made to wrestle?
49 to Japan. Next
Wow.
trip will be number 50. Next trip will be number 50.
Have you thought about just moving there? And obviously they must love you over there. Would you? Are you? I mean, you must be considered a major star to keep getting invited to come over there. Is that something that would? I mean, that's something that some wrestlers ever consider. American wrestlers ever consider is to move to Japan if if they really if they really like you that well. I mean, is it something you
I
guys
have
ever
thought
talk
about
about
it.
that?
I have thought about it a lot in my final few times there. I had a
Mhm.
fiance, um, and something happened to that, but I was getting ready to move to Japan. But yeah, I would if the opportunity presented itself, I would definitely move to Japan.
You just mentioned about the fiance. I was going to ask you. I mean, relationships probably are extremely hard to maintain in the world of wrestling. I mean, is that a fair assessment to say? I mean, is it hard to sink roots into a relationship and have one? But wrestling comes,
So
because
so a lot of women they want to get with professional wrestlers, but then when they do, and they figure out that they can't go on the trips every time, or we're not home a lot, it's a knock. Just like I said, I had the Japanese fiance, and I came home early from Japan to wrestle here in America because it was going to be for good money. I even told her, I said, I'll send you some of the money. And that's not what she wanted. She wanted me. She said, well, if you're going to go home early, therefore you don't care about my feelings. Uh, and I don't know when you'll be back. And she was totally right. Like I came home early in June and I have not been back, and here we are in January. So she was totally right. I can't even run her decision down. But yeah, wrestling are is very, very rough on relationships.
I'm sorry. I'm really genuinely sorry for that too. I'm really
Thank you.
sorry to hear that. Because that's to have somebody in your life to share the adventures and whatnot. It's no different from a professional athlete. I mean, well, you are a professional athlete. uh it's no different from any of the major sports. The same pitfalls on the road. For you it's all year round. For baseball,
Yeah.
6 months, or whatnot. um the other thing I mentioned, you mentioned too about you lost a lot of weight. You're down to 196, and
Yeah,
congratulations on that, by the way.
thank you, thank
Um,
you.
I was asking. I noticed that a lot of the deathmatch wrestlers, I would think that they would be the opposite of what they look like. You know, I would really think that they would be out there all cut and jacked and, like in shape. But a lot of guys come out and it's almost like a hobby for them. Like when your match with Sandman came out, and he came out drinking a beer and smoking a cigarette, and it's like I don't understand how a wrestler could smoke when you have to be in the ring for, like 20, 30 minutes and action. Like I think I would be gassed after 10 minutes if I didn't have my lungs, if I didn't have clear lungs. Um, what do you do to stay in shape, to maintain your physique during both wrestling season and times where you're not? I mean, what do you have a health regimen that you take care that you use to take care of yourself?
So to go back what you were saying before that, I have wrestled the Sandman sober, and I have wrestled the Sandman drunk. I will take drunk any day. Um, and no, I really don't have that much of a regiment. I was 332 pounds, not being able to breathe all that much. Uh, but now I'm 196 pounds. I'm getting around a lot faster. I'm coming off the top rope again. Uh, but it seems to have hurt me to get down to 196. It's either I piss people off, it's my weight, it's my age, or I just have been the shits all these years and didn't know it. But it's one of those four things. But yeah, I don't really have a regiment on I don't lift weights. I eat what I want. Life's too short, if you ask me.
Eric says that you like to walk when it comes to exercise.
I was doing that. There's a bridge here in Jeffersonville, Indiana, that goes from Indiana over to Kentucky, and then you walk Kentucky back over to Indiana. So that's already a cool point. And back in the day, I didn't miss one day, one night or day for 6 months of walking that bridge. And we're talking rain or wind or heavy sun. Every day for 6 months, I walked back and forth on that bridge. But now I'm down 196. I think I'm doing all right. I don't
Yeah,
walk
I
as
think you're
much as
doing
I used
great.
to.
I think you're doing great.
No,
Um,
thank you.
now I want to go back to a little bit for the horror movies because, and we'll leave because you've actually got to work with some of these horror icons. Um, do independent horror movie production companies do you ever get phone calls from them saying, hey, well, I'm doing a movie, I want you to come in there, you maybe play a heavy, maybe you can play, maybe play the final girl's boyfriend or whatnot? Do you get a lot of film roles? Have you pursued any film roles? I'm sure if tapped an independent film company on the shoulder, they'd probably be very happy to have you on their cast. Is that
I
something that
haven't.
interests you?
I haven't. Yes, I love doing movies. The movie that I did, the 2001 Maniacs, is a great time in my life. They gave me $40 a day and took care of my meals. Shit, I would have gave them $40 and took care of their meals just to get in the damn thing. But
Right.
two guys that was filming for Juggalo Championship Wrestling saw that I was wearing horror movie T-shirts during my matches, and they asked me if I wanted to get in a horror movie, and that's how I got in 2001 Maniacs. But yeah, man, if there is movie, if there's directors, producers, whatever, yeah, man, I'm all about. I would love to do more movies.
Well, good, because right now a director just walked through the damn door, and so I think that could probably happen. In fact, I know it will happen. Our
Great.
good friend, film director, filmmaker Daryl Hook is in the chat. He
All
just
right.
released his first film called Stoner Snake, which is an absolute joy. And yeah, he says here, I'd love to have Pondo if we could work out the financial aspect of it. Sounds to me like he pay you, Daryl. But no,
That was just a joke. That was just a joke.
oh, okay. That was just a joke. But yeah, definitely. You guys need to get together and stay in touch here, because I think Daryl's going to be doing pre-production pretty soon on his second film. In fact, he's got some of it going on right now. But I don't see why you couldn't go ahead and do a little something with him.
That'd be
He's very
great.
talented, and he's got a lot on his plate. I mean, he's got a lot of good ideas. So I'd love to see that happen for you, Pondo.
Please do.
Well, all right. This is how it works here on Eight Questions with. So yeah, I will definitely hook you guys up via Facebook, and you guys stay in touch. And then yeah, let's make it happen. I love that.
All right.
Yeah, let's do that. See, and Eric's saying, get on it, Daryl. He's on the DVD cover of 2001 Maniacs. He was the blacksmith in the film. Hell yeah, why
Yeah,
not? I mean,
right next to Robert England's left ear on that
yeah.
DVD cover.
Yeah, I remember seeing that movie. I saw the original, and I also saw the remake. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I met Herschel Gordon Lewis before he passed away. This is gonna
So
get
you really
dark. I'm getting in my car. This is gonna get dark, but I'll be in the light here in a minute. Go ahead.
okay? Yeah, you know what, Pondo? I don't want to talk to you while you're driving. So here's what I'm gonna do. We had a great time. Plus, I want to say
I do that. I'm good at that.
I know, but it wouldn't make me feel comfortable. I wouldn't. I would be absolutely horrible if I ever did that. But I tell you what. I'm going to save some of the meat on the bone, because Eric's going to be talking to you next month, and I want people to come roll over there and check out that interview, because Eric has a lot more interesting questions, I'm sure, that I've been asking. Because he loves you, he loves Deathmatch, and I'm really grateful that he let me talk to you today, a little before his shot with you.
AEW's Myron.
Hey.
I'm on a podcast.
Oh, okay, your friends there, all right. Well, I tell you what, boys and girls, Madman is going to be taking flight. He's going to go check out Mercy with Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson. I love Rebecca Ferguson. And I just want to say thank you so much for coming out and being our guest tonight, Pondo. I really do appreciate it. And to the chat, I want to thank you guys all for rolling out on a very, very cold Thursday night. And we will be back here. We'll come back on Saturday over at Al Lucar's channel. On Saturday at 4 p.m. We'll be covering El Santos versus Blue Demon. And then next Thursday, I'll have Ken Sledge from Sledgehammer Horror. He'll be here on Thursday. And of course, Christy Newton will be here on the 27th. We rescheduled it because we finally figured out what we were doing wrong. We fixed it. She'll be here on the 27th. All right, boys and girls, thanks so much for coming out. And we will see you Saturday. Pondo, I'm just going to let you go right here. I want to thank you so much. It's been a real honor talking to you. I really mean that. And yeah, it's been awesome. It's better than I expected it to be. And I hope I asked some really good questions. And I think he froze on me. You know what? That's a sign right there. But you did hear it, chat. You did hear that Madman Pondo said that Bigfoot would crush Dexter. All right, that's it for us. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Peace.